Greetings, it's Ian from R.T.O here. This is something I don't do too many of, but that's a thread. Now, I'm so busy doing other stuff, but when I hear a good thread, and I come across this one via two people, shout out to both of them, that's the French Vinyl Addict and Mike from Mike's Vinyl Spiral, who've come up on my live stream they're regulars on the live stream. And when we've had our we've done the live stream, we always have a little bit of a chin wag, and this thread come out, and the original thread was done by Richard S, which I have now subbed to give him some support. It's a new channel, so guys from my channel, go and support Richard, because you know this is a great thread. And basically what he wanted us to do was pick 5 records from our collection that define your collection. Now, everyone really associates me with metal and rock and prog, but there are other bits in my collection that I really do like. So I went and had a dive through my collection this morning. I had a rough idea, and I found 5 that sort of sums up my collection. And I've done it in different genres. So we're going to start off with one of my favourite genres, and that's prog rock. Now, I could have chosen lots from prog rock. Yes, Focus, but even Marillion. But I went with the one that really started me for it, and it is Genesis. Now, this is their 5th album from 1973, Selling England by the Pound. It is my favourite Genesis album, and this is after, when I first really got into Genesis, it was around the Duke era. But I was told, go and listen to this. So I got it out at the library. Remember that, guys? And I love this album. I mean, it's got one of my favourite tracks on here. The 5th's on here. The Cinema Show. I think it was one of the best albums that this lineup of Genesis ever did. I love the cover as well. It does get a bit of a hammering, always has, and I think it always will. I just absolutely adore that album, and that sort of represents my prog side of things. So let's move on. Now, being around in 1980 as a teenager, I was influenced by lots of music. This is when I started really getting into music, and I didn't just concentrate on my rock, because in 1980 I heard a single called Vienna, and I fell in love with it. And a friend of mine had this, and they put it on cassette for me, and I got the CD, and I only acquired this in the last 12 months. This is their 3rd album. It's the first album with Midge-Ure, and Vienna is a great album. It's got some of my favourite tracks on here. I mean, we've got the brilliant Astrodyne, the instrumentals on here. Of course, Vienna, Mr. X is on here, Western Promise. There's some excellent tracks on here. And I still play this album a lot. I really do like Vienna, Ultravox. Generally, I've got quite a few of their earlier albums now. I've got Gets to the John Fox ones, that's my next sort of thing, but I've got the classic Vienna, I keep saying Vienna, Ultravox, you know what I mean. So that's that one. Okay, now, when I started my channel, the first video I ever made was of my favourite band, and they still remain my favourite band, and that is Status Quo. Now, this is not my favourite album, it's one of my favourite albums. This is the Blue For You album, which was their 9th album they released in '76, and they got a bit of thing with Levi. But this is why I like this band. It's just to do with this bit in the middle. Heads down, boogie. Bang your head. I mean, in the day I had enough hair to do that sort of thing myself, but this is just a great album. I mean, the whole album's good, you know, covers. I mean, even the inlay cover, it's got denim. I mean, it's got some cracking tracks on here. Of course, It's a Better Way, Rain's on here, the full version of Mystery Song. It's a fantastic album, and I love that to bits. My next one is sort of the rock. I had to put a Quo in because they are my favourite band. Now, I'm going to go with some rock. I could have gone with lots. I love rock, and I love metal. I could have had Saxon albums, Iron Maiden albums, Judas Priest, but when it comes down to it, this is one of my favourite bands, and I like anything associated with the Deep Purple family. Rainbow, Whitesnake, Dio, Black Sabbath, because there's all they've played in each other, and this is, to me, when I heard this, it blew my socks off. I heard this first time I ever heard this was when I was about 9, and when Speed King went on, it absolutely blew my head off. Yeah, my mate's dad had this, and this is, of course, this is an original pressing, which I did pay a bit over the odds back in the day, but it is one of my favourite albums ever. And I can't get enough of that album. And my final one, which is a real curveball. Now, I do like electronic music. I mean, I like Jar, I like Mike Oldfield, Vangelis, anything that's got that different. And there was one band back in 1984, and I heard a single called Close to the Edit, and it was from the R.T.O. Now, this is their debut album, Who's Afraid of the R.T.O, which came out in 84. Now, I've got the single, and I loved it so much, I went and brought the album on the premise of one song. And I put this on the turntable for the first time, and once again, I fell in love with it. It was different. I mean, Ann Dudley is just a fantastic musician. J.J. Jawalski's on here as well. Trevor Horn appears on this as well. He produced this album as well. And it's got things like beatbox on it, and Moments in Love, the sort of atmospheric ambient track. Just a fantastic album. I mean, they don't get enough love in the VC, this band. And every opportunity I have, I will always promote The Art of Noise. I've got the first 3 albums on vinyl. One of these days I will try and get the rest. But they are rare as rocking horse doo-doo. So if anyone knows or sees this, let me know. So there we go. There are 5 albums that sort of define my collection. I also like listening to ABBA. I like Simon and Garfunkel. So but yeah, my mainstay is the rock. But I've always given good music. If it's good, I'll listen to it. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that. A little bit different from yours truly. I will see you soon. Bye for now.